rising up. We're the talk of the town. We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers too, meeting Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark, me and Venus, together we embark.
I'm very happy today to welcome Olga Popova, and she's a musician, and she will talk to us about her new projects. How are you, Olga?
Hello, I'm pretty good, thank you. I'm very happy to be here today with you guys. Um, Joy.
Thank you very much for joining. And right now, tell me a little bit about your interest into music and art. How did it started, and what did you study?
So I started my music journey at the Central Music School of Moscow State Conservatory in Moscow, Russia. And after that, I graduated from Berklee College of Music in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. And so I
Uh-huh.
started when I was like 3 years old. My parents noticed pretty early that I had a passion for music. I'm from the family of artists, so it was a little bit of a surprise, and everybody just wants to,
Yeah.
paint and everything, and I want to paint in music. So that's how it started. I would say, like, I just couldn't resist the piano next to me.
Good.
I just wanted to improvise all
Uh-huh.
the time, even like,
Good.
3 years old. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So tell me, after studying, how did you start to perform on a professional level, and what kind of music do you play? I mean, classic or contemporary?
Oh, it's very interesting, actually. So my journey has been like a very widespread in genres. So at first I started because, again, in Moscow, there's a very big classical music school, like very academic, direct studies, like everything of piano, and any other instruments, and as well as composition. Everything is like super classical, orchestral, chamber, but yeah, all oriented in one specific genre. So I started doing classical music again from the age of like 3. And when I started
Uh-huh.
touring as a classical composer and as a classical piano player around the world, and this is when I first discovered like different countries and different cultures and what kind of styles of music everybody were listening to. And I absolutely fell in love with the Broadway music, with the film music. And I think in 2017, when I won a competition, actually a very classically again oriented music competition in New York City, the prize was to play at Carnegie Hall. And I think this is the first time when I've been introduced to American music. I have been, like, I visited Broadway, I visited like different concert halls, and I got so inspired after my classical concert with all of this that I decided that maybe I would love to continue my education and professional journey in United States. So that's how it basically this is what brought me here. And after that, I got accepted to Berklee College of Music, which is known for its contemporary styles and professionalism in those. And I learned how to play jazz, how to play rock music, how to really like rock the stage in almost every single genre you can think of. So I'm really thankful to Berklee and my peers to, share different things and different cultures and styles with me. So now I kind of am more versatile in, a lot of genres. Yeah.
Yes. But tell me, according to your experience, what do you think of the piano as an instrument in playing non-classic like jazz? Sometimes pop and rock bands, and sometimes reggae
Hmm.
and uh, R&B artists. They incorporate the piano or sometimes the org in their music. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's a crucial instrument actually in a lot of genres. It's very interesting that um, I would say a lot of composers from around the world were from the early centuries were involving some sort of a percussion instrument which had sound, which is actually piano. Well, what piano is originally, it is a percussion instrument, and not a lot of
Uh-huh.
people actually know it. So that's why it was involved in multiple cultures, and I think it's very important. It's something that keeps the groove going at the same time as has a rhythmical aspect to it, at the same time as certainly keeps the harmony all together when somebody is playing a solo, or there is a certain element of like some sort of avant-garde or whatever is going on. Piano is really an orchestral, I would say, even as powerful as orchestra type of instrument, which really connects everything together. And I think it's a very, how to say, it's a very connected to me type of instrument, because I love to connect and combine different things all together. And I think this is what piano actually does in different genres of music, because it's such a, big
Yes.
range, of different sounds and, melodies. And that's why it's like when people are playing synth, for example, it looks
Yes.
like piano, right? And this is not just a coincidence. It's actually how piano was created, even when we didn't have an access to electronic sounds. And I think this has been a big inspiration for all the artists, throughout the centuries, to explore more about what can this instrument bring more to the world. So I think this is my this is my humble opinion about what piano is. I just really
Yes.
love the instrument. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, I visited Russia 2 times, Moscow and Orenburg, and
Oh.
also we visited with my wife film festival, Kazan festival. I was invited 2 times as jury, and one in Orenburg, one in Kazan. And of course, when we were in Orenburg and Kazan, they invited us to concert all music and ballet. It's a traditional Russian heritage, to listen to ballet and performance as well.
Yeah.
And from my generation, I love from the pop artists playing piano, Billy Joel and Elton John. Also, there was a rock and metal band. They incorporate piano a lot. Sabotage, maybe you have heard of them.
Hmm.
And in the 90s, there was uh, a song, a performer called Gazebo. He
Hmm.
used to have a song called I Like Chopin,
Mm.
and he had pop and piano. Very nice song. We used to love him when, we were still at school, high school in the 80s and the 90s. But I think what attracted my attention, the press release about your recent project, you know. So what is Wayne Gunn Part One, 1924? What can you tell us about it?
Oh, actually, I can tell you so much. Well, I'll probably talk about it a little bit, because it's been a big journey and it's just
Yeah,
starting. So, Wayne's
good.
Gone, in general, that project is the musical that I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's a musical about the time travel. It's about a time traveling zeppelin. It's a mix of steampunk, historical drama, and actually multiple of genres combined together to introduce to the world a new type of musical theater, which is very cinematic one, which I hope
Yes.
uh, is going to be what future of musical theater would look like. So it's a very, again, genre combining musical with multiple characters. It's actually a 3-act musical. The first act and the second act have like a different in times, like basically for 4 years, and the third act is more of the conclusion. So it's written in a very like classical, I would say even operatic style, at the same time as it has like a very essential musical theater elements, like the structures of the songs, like the lyrical work and everything else. So this project started as just a concert version of it. I wrote a couple of songs in different languages, and I decided why not to make it basically like cast singing it by themselves, kind of introducing the universe. And when I was thinking that it sounds like a very good story, about human emotions, about what is it like to be a person outside of the time frame, and how is that person would react on different, again, times, on how would be their relationships built with other people, and how in general the world would change if something like that would happen in real life. So that's why I love to call it like scientific
Yeah.
fantasy, or like scientific realism, because there are definitely parts of the real world in it. At the same time, there is a place for our imagination to actually ask, like, why, like how can we know that there are no time travelers around us. So after that, like I wrote a script,
Yes.
and
You,
I had an amazing team to stage it first in Moscow. And because I was a classical player for so many years, I had access to concert halls, and one of them was looking more like a theater, because I mean, partly it's a theater, partly it's a concert hall. So I asked them, hey guys, I want to do something new. I want to do a little bit of an experiment and perform not just as a piano player, but I want to actually stage a musical. And I was very surprised, but they said yes, even though I didn't
yeah.
have a lot of experience in staging, as you could imagine. Definitely didn't have at the time a degree for
Hmm.
that. But like, dreams come true if you work very hard, right? So I staged the musical. It was a very good premiere. We actually had all the seats booked, and I heard so many beautiful reviews about this work. So I was thinking, when I come back to Boston, because it was right after the COVID, I'm gonna do that again and again and again and again. So I staged it again in Boston, and with help of my university, Berklee College of Music. And in the production, there were a bunch of people involved, like I would say around like 200 already, because we had our Moscow crew, like a European crew, who were like responsible still for like script editing, design. Sometimes there were like certain images for the stage on a projector. There was orchestra involved, there was choir involved, marketing team, everything. So all internationality here in this project just came in together, and we did it again. And it was also very unexpected success, because the stage that was provided for us was not really what you would imagine as the theater stage. I would say it was a gigantic, again, concert hall with basically 2 floors, but everything was filled. And we actually, again, it's always a surprise, because you think like, wow, this is my project, I'm just doing the best I can, I hope somebody's gonna come and enjoy it. But when you see a lot of people enjoying it, your wings are being spread, and you just like, okay, I really want to do it again. So after our second premiere, I decided that now it's time to get on the bigger stages. Now it's time to show what Wayne's Gun is all about, maybe with a bigger production, with already like more advanced costumes, with more advanced decorations and everything. So I decided that right after the second premiere, we would record a very high quality music album, which I decided to split in 3 parts to kind of create this engagement and hype around first the first part, and then the second one, and then the third one, and build a certain community around that strategy that we are widespread community doing things with an extended timeline. So after releasing that first album, I decided to send my work to a bunch of people from completely different places, and now I'm just waiting for results, and collaborating with different people on how this new premiere or a tour would look like in the near future. So that's basically where the project is at right now. In the future, my personal dream, because I have an experience in writing for movies, and it has been my passion for years, I'm planning on turning it into a certain animated series, but in the format of the musical. So that is something that would be a dream. But for now, we're kind of dreaming big, but not as big. So I'm planning on just staging musical a couple of more times before we would get into the cinema world, and explore something there. So yeah, I hope it's not too much of information, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very excited about this project. It's really my passion right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of sci-fi and music, I invite you to watch, if you haven't watched them, sci-fi films by Russian director Tarkovsky. You know,
Oh yes, yes.
he
I
yes,
I
he
have
made a
so
lot of
much.
beautiful sci-fi films,
Yeah,
and of
actually.
course,
Mhm.
tell me,
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, I just will
actually,
want to say that the theme of time travel and sci-fi in general was very,
good.
again, close to
Mhm.
Russian culture, to European culture. Is it's been like a part of like leitmotifs of people in general like to explore like what if about space, about time. So I'm kind of like bringing it to America as an ambassador, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Mhm.
You know, speaking of sci-fi and music, there was a very beautiful film starring David Bowie, the singer.
Mhm.
And in this movie, it was called The Man Who Fell to Earth. Okay,
Mhm.
and it was done in the 70s. And David Bowie, he plays an alien who came to Earth and he became a rock star. You know,
Mhm.
so most of the time, if you watch sci-fi films about aliens coming to Earth, they have flying saucers. You want to destroy Earth with laser beams and stuff like that. This movie was quite different. They even did a remake a couple of years ago, with other actors on, I think, HBO. But still, the original was very beautiful, the music and everything. And yeah, so, and I remember as well, I went to Broadway. I went to see, a musical, Spider-Man musical. It was very beautiful. It was written by U2 singer Bono.
Mhm.
And I love it because, it's very difficult. I mean, challenging to produce sci-fi on stage. You have the effects, the costume. It's not as easy as doing special effects in cinema. Because you have graphics, post production, everything. So if you want to make sci-fi presentation, on the stage is very challenging, and it needs a lot of creative work.
Mhm.
Right now, tell me about the feedback you got about the project. Some reviews. Do you want to make a second part? What happened
Oh,
after you did the?
yeah.
Yes.
So we got actually a bunch of reviews from different magazines already who got very interested in
Good.
like what Wayne's Gun is in general. We had like the Industry Times, the Growth Illustrated Journal, Disrupt Weekly, Popular Hustle, the American Music Reporter, and a bunch of other magazines who interviewed me about like how the project is going, like what's going to happen next, and if it's a new type of, again, of a Broadway show that I'm introducing, which I was, again, very, very thankful for. And I'm honestly like very shocked because, you expect your album to go good, but when it actually goes good, you're like, okay, okay, I'm not dreaming, wake me up, pinch me. Yeah, I got of a bunch of radio stations like a New York City Live, the what was it, the West Design Radio, like, so different industries got interested in Wayne's Gun from completely different
Yeah.
perspectives. So all three parts were recorded by my wonderful cast all together. It was like the recording was happening like half of the year ago or like a year ago, and since then, so all of the three parts are basically ready. So the next part is gonna be released after I'll promote enough the first one, after we'll get maybe some first opportunities, hopefully. And the
Okay.
second part will be like something that goes after, maybe closer to the first staging. So I really want to combine different events, like maybe first we do a live performance, and when the second part of the album would come in, and when we would have like some sort of a music clip or something like that, and when the third part would come in. So I really want to make it as a timeless timeline thing going on. So yeah, so I would say it's like in my plans is to release the second part of the album, when to do a music video, a live performance, and hopefully get booked, like get the show booked for the next theater season, and maybe apply to some competitions and festivals. We are actively looking into that right now. And besides that, the interviews and the radio shows and talk shows and YouTube shows is something that we are, again, actively doing right now. So it's like working on all the fronts, basically, trying to get as many opportunities as we can, because I really believe it's a wonderful new project, and I am, very sure that people are gonna like it, because it's so multi-genre that I think anybody can find something that they're gonna love personally about this, and enjoy it as much as the crew and the cast and the whole production team does. So yeah.
Great, Olga. I want to thank you very much for the live, and I want as well to congratulate you for your music efforts and the project. And I hope you can release it as well and film it. Maybe we can watch it later on DVD or something like that.
Hope so. Hope so. A lot of
And
love.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for having
And
me.
also, I wish you all the best in. You're welcome. And I wish you as well you venture into a film soundtrack, and it's a very beautiful business. I love to listen to film soundtrack as well, you know. And I have all ears, listening to the music. So I hope someday you become a very famous composer,
Oh, thank
for
you.
films. Thank you again. I wish you all the best, and I hope you can come back when you have a new project. We can announce it here in the channel.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much again to you, and thank you so much for everybody who listened and who would listen to our little show today. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Spaziva. Thank you.
I see that.
Ciao. Bye
Much.
bye.